What advice do you have for companies listening to this interview that are looking to buy an industrial real estate asset for their balance sheet?
Say it again.
What advice would you have for
Oh,
companies looking to buy an asset for their balance sheet that's
sure.
industrial?
Well, the first thing is don't overpay, um, which is kind of logical. However, as we've talked before, paying fair market value is not necessarily bad, but I wouldn't overpay. That's for sure. Um, there's an adage in the commercial real estate businesses: you make your money on the buy. The money's in the buy, and that's probably right because if your basis is low, you don't want to sell it. You're not going to sell at that low basis. That's where the spread is. That's where you really make the money. The other thing is look at a piece of real estate and say, how can I make this better? You need to make a change of some type. It could be a physical change. It could be you kick out a bad tenant and bring in a new tenant. It could be a kind of a change in zoning, actually, where you get more density out of the project, or you can add to the building or fix the roof. There are people who have literally raised the roof in buildings. They bought the buildings, and the buildings had interior clear height of 18 feet and raised it to 30. That adds plenty of value. Adding value could be as simple as managing the building well too. I've seen that more often. I'm always surprised when I see that. So that's another one. Another one is you want to buy in a growth area. All ships rise go up in a rising tide, or whatever the saying is. You're buying in a growth area, that's great. If you're buying in a non-growth area, you're going to get the reverse, which you don't want, of course. And
Right.
I would say I would build a portfolio. I would look at an investment like this not as a one-off, but as a potential to buy a multiple number of buildings, and with the idea that the exit. Oh, and that's another important item. The exit is critical. So when you buy the building, think of how you're going to exit. Um, if you have a multiple of buildings of the same type, your exit's probably going to be easier. Not to mention, it's better to manage. You get to know what the real estate's really all about, what the market is. I mean, you learn a lot in the same period of time. But this way, you develop a portfolio, and at the end of the day, you could perhaps sell the portfolio and get a premium for that also, because institutions like to buy in bulk, basically.
Right. Yep, for sure. Good point. This content was created by commercialrealestate.com. Access our community, investment databases, training, and live events by visiting www.commercialrealestate.com.